Welcome back to The Calling and Happy New Year. We're filming here on the second day of January. So in honor of this new year, we're going to be talking about turning resolutions into reality. So if you're like most people, you may be going into this new year with new ideas, with changes that you want to make, with goals that you want to accomplish. And many people call these desires their New Year's resolutions. But what does that even mean? Let's define resolution first. A resolution is a firm, determined decision to do something or not to do something. And here's what the research says, that only 9% of Americans that make resolutions actually complete them. Only 9%. Now get this, 23% of people quit their resolution by the end of the first week. 1 week goes by and they're already done. And finally here, 43% quit by the end of January. So almost half are done by the end of the first month. Now, why is this? Why do most people's resolutions end up crumbling? I believe it all comes down to this one word, clarity. Most people don't have a clear, concrete plan for the achievement of their resolution. Most people don't ask themselves the tough questions, the important questions. Most people give no thought to the areas that we're going to discuss here today in this video. So let's dive into it. Here are the 7 steps to clarity that will help you turn your resolutions into reality. Step number 1 is your goal. And we're going to talk about 2 different things here when it comes to your goal. But number 1 is it must be a clearly defined goal. Key word, knowing exactly what you want. So your brain needs to have specificity so that it can go to work on helping you achieve your goal. For more on this, you can go back and watch our video, The Power of the Mind Part 2, where we cover how the brain actually works to get into your awareness exactly what you need in order to fulfill your goal. So you got to know exactly what you want and have a clearly defined goal. There's a difference between saying, I want to lose weight this year, versus I want to drop 20 pounds, I want to weigh 160 pounds, and I want to be 15% body fat. Way more clear, way more clearly defined, and now your brain can go to work to help that be accomplished. So it must be clearly defined. And then the second part when it comes to your goal is it something you truly want? There needs to be a burning desire within you to achieve this goal, to make this resolution a reality. It's got to be what you truly want. So sometimes people make resolutions just because they think it's what they should be doing. Oh, I guess I should be losing weight. I guess I should get my money up. But is this something that you have a burning desire for? That's very important, because if this is not something that you truly want, something that you truly have this burning desire for, you're going to cave and be overcome by your emotions when you don't feel like doing the work. You're going to be overcome by adversity when trials and tribulation hits, when life happens all throughout the year. You're going to give up if this thing is not something that you truly, truly want. But there's a saying, and you probably have heard this, where there's a will, there's a way. When you truly want something, you will make it happen. There's a story of a philosopher named Socrates, and maybe you've heard this, maybe not. This saying has been made pretty famous nowadays by the motivational speaker Eric Thomas, but there's a story when Socrates was teaching his student about the keys to success and achievement, and he took his student to the river and he grabbed him by the head and dunked him underwater, and he held him there, was basically drowning this guy until he turned blue. And when he noticed that he was about to pass out, just at that last moment he raised him up and he asked him, as he's gasping for air, while you were under that water, what did you want the most? What did you want more than anything else? And the student said, air, to breathe. And Socrates said to him, when you want success and achievement as bad as you want air, then you'll be successful. Or as Eric Thomas nowadays has made famous the quote, when you want success as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. So this has to be something that you have a burning desire for. And if not, again, you'll be overcome when life happens and the storms hit. So one way you can go deeper on this and find out, is this something I truly want? To go to that depth of burning desire is asking yourself, why? Why is this my resolution? Why do I want this? You can ask yourself and go to that deeper level. Maybe I want to get in shape and have these fitness resolutions, because it means to me that I will be healthy and be able to have a long life and be able to take care of my family. Go deeper and get deeply rooted in why you have this desire for this resolution. Take it to that emotional level of meaning that will inspire that deeper burning desire. So step one, again, is your goal. It's clearly defined and a burning desire, something you actually want. Step number two is action steps. So you can ask yourself, what steps do I need to take in order to make this resolution happen? Here's the truth. There will be action steps. There will be work required. There will be necessary habits that you need to adopt in order to make this resolution your reality. There is no effect without a cause. You're going to reap what you sow. There's no such thing as printing results out of thin air. There is going to be work that has to be done. And no matter how uncomfortable that work is, no matter what other people are going to think and say about you when you're doing this work, the work must be done. There's no way around this. The work has to be done. And nowadays, it's hard to believe that. A lot of people think that, everything's just instant gratification nowadays. I can push a button for basically everything nowadays. It's a click of a button away. However, that is not how our goals work. For example, if you have fitness goals, you want to drop that weight, you want to get in shape, you have to show up at the gym. You have to run those miles. You have to lift those weights. Nobody can do that for you. There is required work that you have to do no matter what, and there's no way around it. So you also have to take this action consistently over a period of time, a long enough period of time for you to see those results come. You don't go to the gym once and expect results. No, this is a commitment to taking the necessary work, the necessary action steps for a long enough period of time until you make that resolution your reality. So step two is the action steps behind your goal. Step number three is belief system. And this is the step that stops most people from taking those necessary action steps that are required. So your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitude, your mindset has to be aligned with the achievement of your goal. And here's why. You can go back and watch our Power of the Mind Part 1 video where we talked about the bear effect, which basically states that your beliefs and your thought patterns dictate the actions that you take. It is that simple. The actions that you're taking are being controlled by these thoughts and deeply rooted beliefs that you have. Let me give you some examples of how this could look moving forward. If you don't believe in yourself and you have self-doubt, if you struggle with self-doubt, you're going to resist taking the uncomfortable action that's required for your success in these resolutions. Also, here's another one. If you believe that money is evil and there's not enough to go around and the world's out to get me, it's going to be very hard to achieve financial success and make these financial resolutions happen that you might have. So again, this is the reason why most people fail and quit their resolutions. It's because they have a mindset, a belief system, thought patterns that are completely contrary to the achievement of their goal. Let me give you an example of this. Imagine getting in a car and you're in New York and you're going to drive across the country to California. So you have your destination, you go out on your drive, but then you start having thoughts and you start listening to all these thoughts that say, no, let's go up to Michigan. No, now let's go down to Florida. No, let's go back to New York. That's what's happening when it comes to us going for our goals and then listening to all these thoughts that are contrary. So we have to identify these limiting beliefs that are holding us back and taking away our power. Limiting beliefs and limiting thoughts are damaging to us on our road and our journey to achievement. So we have to identify those beliefs and then replace them with the mindsets, the thoughts, the beliefs that are aligned with the goal's achievement. And the right mindset, put simply, the right mindset is going to empower you to achieve your resolution. Step number 4 is lifestyle change. Here's the truth. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So there will be changes that you need to make if you are serious about your resolution. So ask yourself the question, what are the changes that I need to make? What are the necessary sacrifices I need to make? What do I need to give up in order to achieve my goal? Here's some examples here. If your goal is losing that weight, if your goal is in the area of fitness, you may need to sacrifice fast food. You may need to sacrifice desserts. You may need to sacrifice being lazy on the couch all day watching Netflix. If your goal is to grow a business, maybe you need to sacrifice the snooze button and get up out of bed in the morning and get a morning routine going. If your goal is financial increase, maybe you need to change your spending habits and sacrifice your addiction to Amazon spending. So there are things that you're going to need to give up. You're going to have to pay a price and make these changes if you're serious about your resolution. So in life, and especially if you're goal-oriented, you must have a high willingness to accept change. Step number 5 is skills to learn and improve on. Here's the truth. You don't know what you don't know. So there will be skills and information that you'll have to learn and adopt if you're serious about your resolution. So you can ask yourself that question. What are the skills? What is the information that I'm going to have to learn in order to achieve my goal? Here are some examples of what I'm talking about here. Maybe it's the tangible things. Maybe you need to learn how to cook, how to work out properly, how to invest and budget. Maybe it's sales skills and business skills, communication. Maybe these are some skills and things that you need to adopt and get better at. Or maybe it's the intangible things like time management, discipline, consistency, focus, patience, mindset development. You have to identify what are the skills that I need to learn and improve if I really want to make this change and hit my goal and turn my resolution to reality. In life, especially if you're goal-oriented, you must have a high willingness to learn. Step number 6 is mentorship. Let me ask you a question. Who is leading you on the path to the achievement of your goal? If you're taking notes, write this down. Humility and coachability is power. So please don't be so prideful to think that you don't need any help. There are plenty of good-hearted mentors out there who are ready and willing to meet and disciple and pour into coachable people and show them the skills, teach them how to achieve the goals that they've accomplished. And your humility or coachability is what will attract these mentors in your life. These are people who are successful, who have the proof, who have the evidence of what they're saying, and they can teach you, lead you by example, and show you how to make this happen. So if you have no access to these people, keep seeking them. Look for those opportunities. Look for mentors. However, in the meantime, you can be mentored by other sources. You can be mentored by books. You can be mentored by audios and videos. You can watch podcasts for mentorship. So engage yourself in these things. We're in the age of information right now, where anything you want to know, you can find it out. So if you want mentorship, seek it out. Anything and everything that you need when it comes to skills and information and the path and formulas, it's all at your fingertips. It's all on the internet. So look for this mentorship, be open to it, and just know that if you seek, you shall find. And finally, step number 7 is accountability. So who is keeping you on track throughout the year as you journey towards achievement? I highly recommend enlisting someone that you can hold yourself accountable to. Maybe this is a good friend of yours, a family member, your spouse, a mentor. There needs to be someone who you can hold yourself accountable to, who can help you measure and track progress. So this should be someone who you trust, who is not going to judge you throughout the ups and downs of your process, someone who is going to challenge you and be honest with you and tell you the things you need to hear when you need to hear it. So who is that person for you? Just remember this, when it comes to these goals and New Year's resolutions, do not grade your own paper. We are always human nature. In our desire for comfort, we are always going to give ourselves a higher grade than we actually deserve. And if you're doing that on the path of achievement to a goal, what that's really just going to do for you is slow down your progress. There you have it. Those are your 7 steps to clarity. Now, 2024 can absolutely be the year that you make these shifts in your life, that you hit your goals and create these results that you desire. But you're going to have a clearly defined plan for its achievement. You're going to have to get clear on all of these areas that we just discussed. And how do you make this plan? You take each goal, each resolution that you have for 2024, and you take it through these 7 steps. You write your answers down, and there's your plan. Now remember this, that failing to plan is planning to fail. and you will end up just like the majority that make these resolutions and then quit on themselves. But if you do get clear on the answers to all of these 7 steps that we discussed here in this video, you will have a clearly defined plan, and 2024 will be the year that you turn your resolutions into reality. We'll see you next time on The Calling.